Hi everyone, Alex at Cloud Interact. We're talking loads at the moment about the agent evaluation forms in Amazon Connect, and specifically, people are quite excited about how they can be automated. Also, some great timing in that AWS have just announced that first-time users of evaluation forms will receive a 30-day free trial, and that's from the day you submit your first evaluation. So I thought it would be quite a good opportunity to do a really quick overview of evaluations automation. We've discussed quality monitoring in a bit more detail in an episode of the Cloud Interact Amazon Connect podcast. Check it out. I'll put a link in the comments. Okay, first thing to show you. This one is good to try and speed up your manual quality monitoring process for your quality team. It's called Ask AI. If we take a look at a contact here in Amazon Connect contact search, we're going to go up to the evaluations button on the top right, and we will start our Cloud Ensure evaluation form. What you'll notice against the first question about greeting is that we have this Ask AI button here, and we're gonna click that, and we'll see what the Gen AI assistant comes back with. The question is whether the agent introduced themselves and introduced the company. Um, so I would expect, as it has, that to come back with a yes there. And so we're going to go down to the transcript and just verify that. We can see that indeed the very first part of the transcript there is that you're through to Alex at Cloud Ensure customer support. So yeah, good quick win there for the Ask AI feature. Now, there is a limit to the Gen AI automation capability at the moment. You can use up to 10, or you can use the AI assistant for up to 10 questions per contact at the moment. And that applies whether you do it manually, as we've just looked at, or whether you use the automated capability, which I'll show you in a moment. Um, the limit, however, doesn't apply to any automation where you use another way of evaluating the question. So you can also use contact lens categories, or you can use contact lens metrics. So, for example, you could include an automated question around whether the customer was put on hold for more than a certain duration, or if you set up some contact lens rules to categorize calls. For example, I've set one up around a compliance phrase. If you use those methods, they can be in addition to the 10 Gen AI scored questions as well. Now, what does that look like in our evaluation form? Let's take a look at the one that we're using here, the Cloud Ensure evaluation. This was the first question that we looked at around the agent introduction, the greeting. We've got two more questions. This question number two around, 2.1 around compliance. Did the agent give the correct compliance phrase? So for that, I've set up a contact lens rule, which will evaluate each contact, and it will determine whether the agent stated that particular compliance phrase. And in this case, I've just put something like, we're authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. And if we go to the automation section in the form here, we can see that we're using contact lens categories for the automation. We can see that the if the compliance phrase rule is present or category is present, then the automatic answer is no. The call is not compliant. Otherwise, the default answer is yes, it was compliant. Let's take a look at that back within the call itself. Scrolling down a bit, let's go to the compliance section, and we can see that the agent did give the correct compliance phrase. Then for the last question, let's take a look at the generative AI automation. So slightly different to the Ask AI Assist. A key thing here, and we're back in the evaluation form configuration here. When you set up your form and your questions, you want to carefully specify your evaluation criteria within this instructions section, because it gets referred to by the automation. So we can see here that I've specified within the first 2 minutes of the call, the agent needs to ask the customer for their name and their address. Taking a look back at how that looks in the form. We've got our AI generated answer as a yes. We've also got, which is really nice, we've got some references and pointers as to why the AI has marked them in that way. Last thing to mention quickly is I've gone into a new version of the form so that we can edit it again. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on fully automated submission of our evaluations, and that's just this tick box at the top here. What that will allow us to do is, whereas previously we went into the form and we could see that the questions had been automatically evaluated, we still needed to submit the form. This will fully complete and submit the form for us. And the one thing that I just need to do with the form we've been looking at is, because we hadn't set up the full automation on question one, I've just come into the automation section, clicked the generative AI option, and then we'll activate the form and we should be ready to fully automate our evaluations.